Howdy there, Ribberderchi, ahoy. Folks, today my car is quite dirty by my normal standards. The Brembo brakes flick up lots of brake pads, brake dust, sorry. And because I just haven't washed the car, I've actually driven it. Normally this car gets washed religiously, but I haven't really had it in any bad weather. But I just noticed lately it's just really dirty on the outside, a bit dusty. So I'm only going to give it a really quick clean today. It doesn't get polished. Normally I throw a product on this at the end called Aquawax. It's a Durogloss Aquawax, which is a professional cleaning product, and that just keeps the surfboard, it keeps adding more to it. So that's really got a nice paint job. But yeah, today I'm not going to have time to do that. So this is just really the bare minimum wash. If you've got a nice vehicle, don't go take it to get it to one of those industrial places, unless you've got no choice. You've got no choice, folks. What do you do? But if you live in somewhere residential, you really need to look after your car properly. So I might run through to you today how we do it, and some hints on how we do keep this nice car looking so good. So without further ado, I'll move it back. I'm going to park her on my driveway, which has got an incline. And I park her like that so the water runs off, the water will run off her. So it's a better thing. So here we go.
That is seriously dirty. See those little dust marks? Holy crap. Take a look at that. All those watermarks, this is terrible. This is surprising that my dad left it this bad.
Now we've got the car parked, just a bit of safety. Wheel chock. Well, I know it's got park brake and you park it in gear. It's a manual, park it in gear. But safety first. If your windscreen wipers up, don't ever touch your car when it's dirty. Never touch your car. Never ever put your fingerprints on it. So if you've got dirt on it, all you can do is scratch it. So you don't touch anything on your car until you're ready to give it a polish. First thing, we go to a bucket of water, good old bucket. Now some people use what they call a 2-bucket method, but try to get one of these. Let's any ingrained part fall to the bottom. Always use a pH wash and wax, or a wash, but pH neutral, so it doesn't affect your paint. pH neutral is what you want to do. And before you do anything, add anything to your car, you really want to be giving a genuinely good hard hose off. You're going to get everything off it. And then I use one always just for the paint, and I use a separate one for the wheels and the tyres. Tyres always get done over with a soft brush. They putting tyre shine on the dirty rim, because it just comes, that's where it comes up and flicks everywhere. So you got to clean it properly. You need to use a brush, and because these have Brembos and spokes, when Tom, my cameraman, films it, we're going to have to move the car back slightly so the spoke sits in a different space so we can clean everything properly. So without further ado, I'm going to start hosing off and we'll get into it. Now the other thing to consider when you're going to wash your car is you want to have a clean garage when it comes back. I've got a fan on because it's quite warm. It's around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So make sure we've got some tunes, because later on you want to have some tunes when you're listening to your when you're washing your car. You want to listen to good music, a beverage or two, because it's hot, thirsty work. And yeah, like I said, I'm just going to hose this all off. Hose it all out so when the car parks, I'm not parking a nice clean car in a dusty driveway. So without further ado, we'll come on up here and give her a bit of a hose off. Hose off usually takes me a while. I like to do it properly, so I'll just do it for quite a while. But like I said, she's not really dirty by anyone else's standards maybe, but just by my standards she's filthy. Now always start on the top of the car. So water and stuff runs down, it always goes down. So always do it from the top downwards. Now, I don't have really great water pressure here, but all I'm trying to do is lift as much of the dirt as what I possibly can, and also wash in between creases. And like I said at the moment, all I'm doing is really loosening off the dirt. Some of this stuff, it just doesn't come off without a proper wash, a proper rinse that you need to get into it. Bit of elbow grease, bit of hard work. Always go up underneath the side of it. Get out anything from the inside, around the back of the brake drums. And when you see how much comes off this dirty, they're really good brakes. These are Brembos, they're fantastic, but they really make a lot of dust. So I'm actually drive like a granny, as I might have said in other posts, and I do that because these brakes will cost a fortune when I have to go and change them over, I'm sure. So I'm just going to continue on hosing here, and then we'll go and mix the detergent and get into giving the rest of the car a wash. Okay, we've got lots of nice suds going. Now the car's parked in a driveway. I've already loosened off everything with the hose, so there's not really much loose stuff on. This has got two sides. I actually prefer this side, but the car's got plenty of wax on it. This car is probably the most polished car in the whole of the east coast of Australia, I reckon. So it is very easy to get all this stuff off. So just pay a lot of attention in between on the creases of where your boot is. If you've got a spoiler, have to pay a bit more of attention under the spoiler. Make sure you get everything. You don't want to. Now today I'm only going to wash the car, but I'll do a video when I'm going to be doing next time I do a polish on it. I usually spend 6 or 7 hours detailing this thing when the time comes, and I always tend to put of the product I was talking about before, Durogloss Aquawax. I've already prepared the car with paint protection by the same company, the Durogloss. I'm not getting paid by these guys, by the way. I'm just saying it's one of the best finishes on a car. It's the same as spending $1,200 for paint protection. This stuff just works just the same, but you can top it up by using a little bit of Aquawax every third or fourth wash. But my car doesn't get it every third or fourth wash, it's just about every wash, except for at the moment. So as I said, get right into the seams of the window, loosen it off. Don't use this same one on your wheels. Always keep a separate one for your paint job. Never use it for the wheels or the tyres. They have their own. They should have their own. Okay. So I work from the top, wash the top, the glass area, and then the bonnet, all the top stuff, before we went to the panels on the side. And we went from the top of the car to the front of the car, where it's all going to drip off. So it's all looking nice and clean, but it needs to be chamoised off. So I'm going to keep the car wet. Got my little apprentice here. Little apprentice is doing a very, very good job of, he actually does a far better job than me, and he needs pocket money, so pocket money ain't free. But Tom also wants to have first dibs on buying it when he gets his job as a pilot or an engineer or electrician or something like that, Tom. So we've already washed it off, but he starts using the brush. So we've got this brush to go in between the rims. We've got another brush, this type of brush here for the tyres, and the wheels and tyres get their own sponge to work with. I don't mix it between the ones I use on the car. They always get the same ones for the wheels. So he's going to do 4 of these. Going to hose it off. What we're going to do, once he hoses it off, then we've got to quickly get in the car, and we're going to move the car up or down an inch, so we get a different spot on those Brembos, and also then he can get underneath the spot which is under the car itself. So all in all, she comes up looking pretty good. Yeah. Thanks, Tom. Doing a good job. Now what I've also done, I've just quickly given the garage, on this side anyway, given it a quick hose out, because it's like I said before, if I put a clean, tidy car in a dusty old garage, you've got to have it all cleaned up and tidy. So I try to keep it tidy, but then I'm married with kids, so I've got like dried flowers and things like this happening. So what I've also do, I've got a car cover over here, So once the car's in here ready to go, I'm gonna, after it's been semi dried, it's going to be well and truly wrapped up, looked after. Let's see. Howdy folks, we're finished finally. We've moved the car a couple of times to get in between the Brembos and to get underneath the flat spot where the tyres work, and we'll soon be doing one of how to apply the wax and shine on it, how to clean and detail under the bonnet, and how to do the interior of the car. So we have a bit of a drinky thing at the moment, so it's very good. Thanks for viewing. I'm going to move it back to the carport and put a car cover over it. Thank you. Well folks, all done, all covered. Parked, chocked, covered on one side. I've got another mattress which I throw on this side. Now, just a couple of things to consider when you do a car cover. Have a research on the internet before you do it. Have a really good research about what you're buying. Some of these covers can be pretty expensive and they can cost $360, but they recommend you take it off the car every 20 days, whatever. The best you can buy is this old sheets, old flannelette sheets. And once you actually do it, I've labelled it, and my mum helped give some sheets to us, and my lovely wife went around with the sewing machine and she's kind of custom made it, but I've labelled everything so I know what goes where. I've got mattresses which we keep as spare if we have sleepovers. They protect the doors, and then the back of it, because it was a fitted sheet, I'm really lucky that as it was a fitted sheet, it tucks underneath the two exhaust pipes. Well, this one a little bit more, taking the exhaust pipe, and then we've got the mattress on the side which protects it there. So if I mow my lawn, or because let's face it, these panel doors aren't 100% seal proof, but this car's also a driver, so it's not something which is going to sit in a Kyrovac temperature controlled machine forever. You just have to look after it. So if you're not driving them, wash them before you cover them. Always wash your car before you cover it. Just go for old sheets. If you don't have a lot of dosh, and flannelette sheets are the best. But at the same time, when you start driving your car, if you're going to drive your car, now this is a Sunday driver car, but if you're going to drive your car, when you first start taking the car out a few times, never put the cover back on it. The little bits of dust and dirt can actually scratch it when you put the cover on. So once the cover really comes off the car, to me it doesn't go back on until I've washed the cover as well and the car. So the cover's sitting here collecting dirt, as most garages do, but that's what you have to do. Thank you for watching. I'll make some more videos at another time. Thank you.